If you want to get a high band score in the IELTS test, stick around to find tips and strategies that help you ace this test. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and make sure to click on the notification bell. Hi, what's going on everybody? I'm so excited to see you again for another tutorial. I'm Mohammad and you're watching the 9th episode of the IELTS speaking series. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at some strategies that can enable you to perform better in your speaking test. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So sometimes there are questions that we don't have any information about or any interest in. For instance, I may not be a big fan of music. When I see a question like, "What's your favorite song?" I think to myself, I don't know. This brings us to the first tip. Use your imagination. If you don't have anything to say based on your information, make something up. There is nothing wrong with using your imagination to respond to questions. In fact, it can really save the day and help you get a high band score. Let's move on to tip number 2. One fact about speaking is that there is a direct relationship between the amount of time you spend listening and how well you speak. This means the more you listen, the better you speak. An example of this is that if you listen to podcasts every day, you end up becoming a more fluent speaker. You may be wondering what podcasts are and how you can use them to develop your speaking skills. Podcasts are like radio programs that are downloadable. This means you can listen to them anytime, anywhere. You can download them from websites such as Stitcher.com.
Support for This American Life comes from Progressive, one of the country's leading providers of auto insurance. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you say what kind of coverage you're looking for and how much you want to pay, and Progressive will help you find options that fit within your budget. Use the Name Your Price tool and start an online quote at progressive.com. Price and
First time that she went searching for someone who wasn't a stranger.
One thing to keep in mind is that you don't have to listen to all the podcasts in the world to improve your speaking skills. Just find your favorite and stick with it. Now the question that remains is how you can use them to develop your speaking skills. Here's an excerpt from one of my favorite podcasts.
How did one act of piracy shape the interests of the British Empire? Stephen Johnson will be here to talk about his latest book, Enemy of All Mankind, a true story of piracy.
Now, if this process is too challenging for you, instead of a podcast, you can try YouTube or an episode from a TV series.
Alright, say you've written a list and gone to the store, but you quickly start buying things that you didn't plan on. After all, fresh produce would be nice. And these look good. Half off? Why not? Wait, why is it so hard to stick to a shopping list?
To get more mileage out of the strategy, make sure to review your notes every day and make sentences with the new phrases that you learn. In the next episode, we'll talk about how you can structure your Part 2 responses to get the highest possible band score. Until then, keep learning and keep practicing.